Krishan Singh Ji, Joint Director, Scientist D from MeitY. May I please request him to come on the stage? Please give a round of applause to Mr. Om Krishan Singh Ji. Please. You have a presentation?
Yeah, I have a presentation. I have. Okay. So my presentation. There's two presentations.
Will it take a minute or you're ready? Please, be seated. Be seated. So while the presentation is being pulled up, today is 7th December, and one of the main reasons for the EVs to come into life being born is the pollution, right? We all know enough about it. On the same day, 7th December, recently in the year 2014, Mayor of Paris actually called for all diesel cars to be banned from the center of Paris by 2020. Right, that shows the extent of pollution, the way it is capturing the mind share of people, and at the same time it also shows the inability of the governments to rather control these situations, because in 2014, the 2020 timeline that he gave, French government couldn't meet it. They couldn't ban the diesel car from the center of Paris by 2020. So, and by the way, in the next year, same day, 7th December 2015, Beijing actually issued its first ever red alert on pollution. Well, people who have been to Beijing here, we always wonder that why they didn't issue in 1995 really. It has always been very polluted. But anyways, they finally did that in 2015, same day, 7th December. So as far as pollution is concerned, as far as finding alternative to pollution is concerned, keep this planet livable, electric vehicles have a key role to play. The number of exciting developments which are happening, whether it is today actually the battery is the talk of the town. If we can figure out the battery, the sort of the future is sorted. While we have figured out the battery to a good extent, but a lot more developments are taking place, whether in terms of the liquid hydrogen, whether in terms of lithium ion, lithium sulfur, many developments are happening in the same battery on the anode side. Several developments are happening on the cathode side. There are companies, startups, which are just working on the anode. There are companies, startups, and the ecosystems which are just working on the cathode. So for us to have an idea of the kind of frenetic activity which is going around the whole world in the area of EVs is absolutely mind-boggling. In all this activity, the main thing, what this activity does for people like us, creates opportunities. With any change, look at it like this, that today, India, we are selling about something like 1.3 million electric vehicles a year, which includes all two-wheelers, three-wheelers, commercial vehicles, everything. This number is supposed to rise to 20 million a year in 10 years. Now, don't you see that there's the similar situation where 100 years back, right, US probably had everybody had a horse, and one person then finally bought a car. And gradually it became a trend, and over the next 10 years, everybody shifted from a horse to a car. Similar thing is happening. Although one is not saying that the current internal combustion engine cars, the petrol and diesel cars, are going to be completely eliminated. That will take it much longer because of many structural and macroeconomic issues. But the EVs are going to have a much larger share of the overall mobility by 2030, which is barely, a sniffing distance away, really. Yes, yes. For you. Okay, gentlemen. Mr. Om Krishan Singh Ji, Joint Director, Scientist D, MeitY.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer, PhD Chamber, and IT BHU alumni. I feel proud that they give the opportunity to present the ministry view, especially which we are doing in the field of electric vehicle. So here I know in the agenda paper I have seen that many technocrats are, so they will explain pretty good in the technical part, but here I will basically focus on what the ministry initiatives has been taken for the development of subsystems of electric vehicles and manufacturing. So these are the outline for my presentation. So within 10 to 15 minutes, I will cover these things. So as far as ministry structure is concerned, so as all of you know, there are minister, MOS secretary, and there are different, under the Ministry of Electronics and IT, there are a lot of autonomous societies, Section 8 companies, statutory organizations, and there are different groups. So here we belongs to the R&D in electronics and IT group. So these groups, actually these are the R&D in electronics. There are different divisions, which is basically in different thrust area of the Ministry of IT. So electronic material component division, electronic system development and application division, nanotechnology initiative division, microelectronics development division, medical electronics and health informatics, and national supercomputing mission. So most of them, I think you are aware about these things. So there are other R&D groups apart from this R&D electronics, information technology, communication and broadcasting, innovation and technology development for Indian language. So our vision and objective of this R&D electronics group is to create a R&D ecosystem for societal and strategic applications. So basically here we are reducing the import substitutions of electronics goods, promoting the and accelerate the development for products for local and global needs, and cost-effective indigenous solutions, bridge the gap between the R&D and its commercialization, increase the value addition in electronics products, and promote, apart from this, skilling in a particular area. So these are the structures through the proposals are being taken for the funding as well as for implementing. So here through the call for proposal from the ministry, they are publishing of the call for proposals, and then these are evaluated at different level, and then through the different working group, it get approved and then initiated for the monitoring and implementation. So as far, because one of the thrust area of MeitY is to promote the EV technology development. So as we all know that why we are moving, why the ministry and different government organization, regulatory organization focusing to include the EV in our country. So these are like rising air pollution, fast depletion of fossil fuels. So we have to reduce the imports of the fuel. So currently this automotive industry quickly shifting from traditional fuel based to the eco-friendly technology. So EV is one of them. As far as some technical, so why we are moving, so technical is that it provides as per the needs of the vehicle, like initial torques and all. So its efficiency is much more than the IC vehicles. So these are the evaluation through which we are moving, like conventional, hybrid and battery electric vehicle. So as far as efficiency and the energy consumed by the vehicle is concerned, so we can see, like in IC, only the 30% of the total energy is used for the rolling, aero and braking purpose, while in case of electric vehicle, it is around 76%. So its efficiency is much more, that's why we are moving. But the actual need is that the technology, what the currently available in our country, basically for the components level, so it is being imported from outsides. And when we see the situation of different traffics and terrain conditions, so US traffic is very homogeneous, while in case of India traffic, that is very heterogeneous, lot of two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler on a road. So there is a need. Here, slower traffic, low affordability, vehicle, this is mixed, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and harsh climate condition, more than 48 degrees Celsius. So our environmental condition, our road condition, our traffic condition is totally different what the developed country and Western country. But so we cannot blindly follow their components and their whatever they are developing for EV. So there is a need to develop the indigenous solution for all the electric vehicle, starting from the components to subsystem to system. So as Government of India already targeted, there is a target for like 70% for commercial vehicle, 30% private car. It is changing. A lot of the news items are there, how it is moving and how we are catching the targets. So India is also targeting, if you see the main component, basic components of EV. So I'm not going into details about that, all these. So there is motor, controller, converters, chargers, all of that. But currently, most of the items, most of these components are being imported. Technology part, R&D part, we are taking from outside. Some manufacturing is happening here in our country. So we are now focusing to develop the sub-components at indigenously. So if we see the Ministry of Electronics and IT ecosystem, how we are promoting this EV into our country, starting from the research promotions, through the call for proposal, as I mentioned earlier, through the call for proposal, we have floated some listed components, their specifications. So where the research institutes like different IITs, ISCs, and along with the companies, they are participating to develop the motor, controller, converter, chargers. IIT BHU is one of them. Two components is developing by two different group there. And then this technology development part also we are taking care, not only the R&D like a TRL3, not lab-based, proof of concept only. It go up to the TRL7, TRL8. So technology development level, then it is being certified by the different agencies. So MeitY have some, apart from this ICAT, ARI, there is just Samir, some EMI, EMC testing is also being done at Samir. So Samir is a society of Ministry of Electronics and IT. And there is, I think you all are aware about MeitY Startups Hubs, which are promoting for the startups in this particular area. So MSS is there. There are a lot of testing facilities is there, which one is in Pune, and second one is iCreate, that is being funded by the Ministry of Electronics and IT. And for manufacturing incentives, there is earlier it was MSIPs, but it now speaks special promotion for manufacturing electronic components. So it is basically motor and controller. It is taken first in that speaks scheme. So you can get the details about how these schemes benefit can be taken. So these details are there in MeitY websites. So as far as one program, a specific program that we have initiated at Ministry of Electronics and IT, that is development of electric vehicle subsystem. So the basic objective, main objective of this program is to develop high performance, reliable, cost-effective electric vehicle component subsystems in motor, controller, converters, and chargers. It should be cost-effective, quality competitive, and suitable to our environment. And it should be at least TRL 6, 7, so that with the industry collaboration, it can go up to the next for the manufacturing in the plant. So these are the execution of the program. These are the methodology that we have followed to fund these programs, to evaluate these programs, and how the commercialization is being taken under this program. So first we have identified this thrust area, which area needs to be targeted based on the requirement of the market. And then we have followed a academia startup industry consortium approach, where all the designer, user, manufacturer brought at a common platforms. Not only they are participating into that, they contributing financially and technically by providing their lab facility and some funds for the manpowers and the capital equipments also. So through the call for proposal, this is being published in the MeitY website as well as different social media platforms. And then examination is being done to take up which has the the proposals have that capability so that it could go at a commercial level at end of the day, and it is up to on 18 months and 24 months duration of whole proposals. So pretty good proposals are ongoing in this particular area. So earlier we have floated some call for proposals, so some chargers development. So these are the broad specification. It is not totally like what we have published at that time. So here I have mentioned only the broad items. So like chargers and different DC chargers, which the different kind of DC-DC converters, and motor controller. So it is not limited like BLDC, PMSM or hub motor or some induction motor. So SRM and more are coming up. So we are taking consideration to the new technology also for the drivetrain also. And there is except from the battery, like battery management system is also being taken under this program. So I think ITBHU is also working on this battery management and motor controller technology. Apart from this particular program on electric vehicle system, there is a program, National Mission on Power Electronics Technology. It is, since 2004, this program is being run to facilitate research, development, deployment, and commercialization of power electronics technology by enhancing indigenous R&D expertise as well as infrastructure in the country. So here, lot of industry, academia have participated under this program. So one of the thrust area of this whole program is the EV initiatives. So these are the industry partners, academic partners that have participated under this program. So lot of the technology has been commercialized under these programs. So the details may be find out on the NAMPED website, the namped.in. In this program, NAMPED, we have targeted for development of different kind of AC chargers, different power rating AC and DC chargers. So, and not only that, here also some like GAN and SIC based charger, new technology, state-of-the-art technology we are following to develop this kind of charger, so that in future we can develop that kind of charger. So these are the broad specification. So they are like 7 kilowatt, 22 kilowatt AC fast chargers. Similarly, 50 kilowatt DC charger based on the SIC and GAN based charger also. And this 3.3 kilowatt and 7 after the certification, now it is open for transfer of technology and for ready for production. So these are the some chargers that we have developed under this whole program. Not only these chargers, motor and controller, along with the industry partners and institution, we have developed motor and controller for two-wheeler as well as e-rickshaw, and it has been commercialized. Not only commercialized, first lot on Ambir Group that is going to produce using this technology that we have developed under this program. So these are the company that in earlier program they have participated, but currently which is going on, many more companies, more than 50 companies is participating under these programs. So these are the, broad specification that we have developed different kind of by IIT Madras, IIT Kharagpur, DTU Delhi. So in the last Digital India Week, we got the opportunity, Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister visited this stall, and mainly what his instruction was that to, as far as possible, include the industry peoples, and participation is much more to take the technology at commercial level. So, and a lot of launching of the developed technology were done at that event. These are the roadmap that MeitY currently having to achieve. So here we have developed some of the technology for two-wheeler, three-wheelers. Now we are focusing for four-wheeler and heavy vehicles for all the components level. So subsystem level we are targeting. So as all of you are aware about this, as I mentioned, that there is a center of excellence in automotives, autonomous connected and electric vehicle in Pune, so which is basically to incubate the different startups working in this particular area. So it is being run with the help of the ARI Pune as well as government of Maharashtra. So for more details, you may visit motion.stpi.in. So this is under the Ministry of Electronics and IT. Similarly, there is a society, CMAT, Center for Material Research. So there we have already developed a lithium-ion battery. It has been, demonstrated on two-wheeler, as well as it is now, this facility can be used by any industry peoples based on some nominal charges is there. So these are the CMAT activity which is being in the area of EV. Not only this two-wheeler battery, they are targeting some higher range battery for only the NMC currently they are targeting. So as challenges is concerned, so you all are aware that currently the people have the average price currently is much more than the IC vehicles. So that is one issue, and inadequate charging infrastructure in which the government is focusing to setting up the charging solutions much more. And battery imports, currently the sales level we are importing, and some of them, some of the companies is they have going to manufacturing facility for sales also. Range anxiety among the consumers, in a single charge, how much kilometer it will go. So this is the main, we have to change the mindset and how to switch from this IC to EV, that we have to think. And I think with the industry, government, and all the associations, the participation, we can come up with some good programs, proposals. Currently, so these are the, while formulating such kind of proposals and program, we have to think in a single day, we only use generally 2 to 3 hours our vehicle, and rest of the time it is in the parking state. So how we can use that energy which is in the park stage to transfer that energy into the utilities. So we have to keep in mind. So as earlier speaker mentioned, battery swapping, the government is working on that swapping and fast charging solution. The fast charging, basically technological intervention will be there, but battery swapping is basically infrastructure creation. So for that, policy is being formulated. How the obstacle and the these things can be taken care. So in battery, so recycling, there is a Ministry of Electronics and IT have a e-waste program. So in that, recycling of the electronic waste as well as this all the EV, it is being taken care. So as we know that more than 90% of the EV materials can be recycled. So it is it is being also taken forward by the Ministry of IT, and vehicle to grid technology. We are also focusing on this vehicle to grid technology. So some of the technology development programs and projects for vehicle to grid, it is under development, and it is expected that within a year we will have this technology also. But the overall, we have to think how the whole solution for the EV would be put at the right time so that it would come into the market. And so future, if you meet the target of the government and our this one, so we will save at least 8 lakhs crores on crude oil imports, and there are a lot of environmental pollution, and all the issue will be solved. So as I mentioned earlier, currently we have 14, more than 14 proposals is being underway for the development of different kind of components, motor, controller, converters, chargers, by different institutions in a consortium mode, where the manufacturer, users, and all are there. And they are not only participating, more than 30% of the total budget is being contributed by the industry peoples. And now, within a month's time, we are going to publish new call for proposal. Yeah, so in different area. So, and we look forward that industry participation in next programs, it will be published on MeitY website. So where you can participate along with the, it is not restricted that you have to come with the academic institutions. So if your lab and your R&D centers is DSIR certified, so it can be supported under these programs for development of different components, but it should be targeted up to the commercial level so that it could go into the market within the stipulated time, like 2 years. So thank you all. If any query, so you can write on that one. And if you have any query, then I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Dr. Krishan. If there are any audience questions,